to a single woman.
Let's start her from the beginning.
All right, y'all. I'm frustrated today.
Talk to us.
Cause y'all, why y'all be setting me up for failure? Why ain't nobody tell me how difficult it was gonna be going from a wife to a single woman? Y'all, I swear to God, I'm dying out here. I'm dying. SOS, SOS. Man, y'all, I need help. I need help. Like, I don't get it. I'm stuck. Like, man, once you've been a wife, it is damn near impossible to morph back into a girlfriend. Baby, I'm a wife. When I go in at 100. I don't know how to pretend like I like you a little bit when I know I like you a lot. You know, and a lot of people be like, oh, that's too aggressive to tell a guy this. Why you when I know I do? And hell, I want to know that you like me at the same capacity.
Right.
Because if you don't, what we here for? What we doing? We just wasted each other time. Y'all, I'm not that person. I can't pretend like, you know, oh, I only like him a little bit. Or why are we pretending at all? We three? Like, I'm trying to figure out if you for me and I'm for you. You know, because if not, can you please move over? Because I want him right there, the one that's for me, who gonna be my forever person. And if that ain't you, and you don't want to participate in the process of me finding out if that's you, then you wasting my time. You wasting your time. Y'all, I can't get it. This ain't working for me. Like, I ain't supposed to be nobody girlfriend, pretending like I like you and then waiting a little bit to respond back to your messages when I know I want to respond right back, and I want to check on you, and I want you to check on me, and I want to be up under you, smelling you, your scent on my clothes and mine on yours, and I gotta pretend like I don't like you. Where y'all get the scripts from? Like, how y'all know? Like, I don't even know what to do or how to do it right. Like, I give up. I ain't no girlfriend, man. I'm a wife. I'm a wife, man. Forget it.
Sounds and you know, I don't know how this marriage ended, but it sounds like you should have stayed with your husband, man. When I hear that a woman who's been married for a long time, I'm not talking about these 2-3 year marriages where they're like, oof, man, that was crazy, and they weren't actually ready for the marriage. No, I'm talking about somebody who's been married for a while. And I see the excitement, because I see it all the time. I see the videos. The excitement of them looking at the dating market like it's just a pool of options. I laugh a little inside. I laugh because they have no idea. It's a mess out here. And sure, you can get online and complain. And this is not just, you know, her. I'm talking about anybody else who's going through this. The reality is it's a mess. Everybody's dealing with the struggle and the difficulty within the dating market. You're not the only one. Welcome. Welcome. And to anybody who's watching this and you're thinking of leaving your marriage and you haven't tried your best to work things through, just know that there's some suffering waiting for you out here. I'm not being too negative. No. It is a negative experience in most cases to be out here and dating. I remember before I even got married, I got to the point where I said to myself, and this wasn't that long ago because I haven't been married for that long, right? I got to the point where I said to myself, you know what? After you have a few serious relationships, you sit down and you think to yourself, is that heartbreak you go through after a serious relationship? I'm not talking about a fling or some person who you were just dating casually. No. I'm talking about a real relationship that lasted some time, maybe a year or 2 years, 3 years. You may get to know someone deeply. I got to the point where I thought to myself, is any of this worth it? And I'm talking about relationships. Are any of these serious relationships worth it if they aren't leading to a marriage? And it's because I valued marriage and wanted marriage. So that's how I interpreted it. And I pretty much said, I don't think I'll have a serious relationship with anybody else unless if I look at him as somebody who could be potentially a wife. Because what's the point of you investing in them and being exclusive and your heart's open, and then you go through the trauma and the experience of heartbreak. Heartbreak. Oh man.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Heartbreak is a bitter cup of coffee. I don't care who you are. I don't care how tough you think you are. Heartbreak will humble you. It will humble you. It will teach you things. It will motivate you out here. Go ask anybody who's ever accomplished anything great. Go ask anybody who's ever lost a significant amount of weight. You know, somewhere there, and part of their story was heartbreak. Motivated them to get their life together. That's how much it F's you up. And I got to the point where I said, there's so much of just an opportunity to go through that experience. But how many times can you go through that experience? How many times? Over and over again. Why would you want to? This is why you have people who are just moving around with their hearts closed. All they'll date multiple women because giving their heart to one person is too much for them. And I'm not saying that's the way you should do things. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this. If you're, based on this video in the context, if you're someone who's in a relationship and a marriage that's doing well, and you're thinking that you're going to get out here into this dating market and it's going to be this 1-2 done, hire dating coach or do whatever, there's no magic recipe to finding somebody who you're compatible with. There's nothing out here except for trauma, some D for you, lots of that, and confusion, right? And a whole lot of coffee for you to drink. And by the end of it, your mind is troubled. Now, for this particular lady, again, I don't know what happened in her marriage or where things went wrong. If I'm going to make an assumption, because life, people do that in life, then I'd assume that she probably thought things might be better out here. Now, you could find out her husband died or something crazy happened if that's the case, and I'm sorry to hear that. But let's be honest. In most cases, that's not the type of tragic situation we're talking about. Dating after divorce. Oh, shoot. She has a series here explaining everything. Let's see what she's talking about. Hold on. So this is Dating After Divorce Part 2.
Hey, y'all. Good morning.
What's up?
Boy, I woke up to a big old surprise. Woo! Honey, I woke up to all them comments and all that traction to my video. And I was like, whoa. Okay. Y'all, initially, I'm not gonna lie. Look, I'm just a regular old person. Baby, ain't nothing special about me. I just made that video for laughs and giggles.
Right.
I was bored yesterday, and I said, you know what? Let me make a video about how crazy dating is right now after, divorced and being in your 40s, man. So I made it. But I did not expect it to get that much traction or that much attention. But nonetheless, I thank y'all so much for all the engagement. I especially thank all y'all for the positive, messages and the motivating messages. Thank y'all so much. And the negative ones too. I'm not gonna lie. I learned from it all, y'all. This the internet. Okay? Y'all don't know me. I don't know y'all. And I'm gonna tell.
At least she's grounded, right? You have chicks who come on here and be mad after they put something out into into the internet and be like, how dare you guys have an opinion on my public post?
Tell y'all that as well. Anything anybody says to you on the internet, y'all let that stuff roll off your shoulders. Let it go in one ear and out the other. Y'all don't know them people and they don't know you. So y'all don't let that affect y'all. But I have thick skin. I'm little proud military, so it don't bother me.
Right.
But nah, it don't bother me, baby, because that's your opinion, and your opinion, everyone's opinions is based off of their personal experiences, and it has absolutely nothing to do with me or to do with you, y'all. So let that stuff go. But anyway, another thing. Front face camera. Boom, boom, boom. This ring is on my right hand. When you're using a front face camera, everything is mirrored. That is on my right hand. Got it? All right, cool. All right. Number 2, y'all, I left my relationship
Mm,
because I had to, not because I wanted to.
okay.
If you talk to anyone that knows me on a personal basis,
Mm-hmm.
they will tell you that I am a fighter. I am one that does not give up. And that's probably why I've had so many issues with my relationships, because people look at me and they see my heart far before they see me. They know she ain't going nowhere. She's a fighter. She gonna stay. And guess what? Unfortunately, I am. But I don't look at that as a bad thing. Because, baby, when I find that other fighter,
Mm. Okay, so she did leave. Interesting. Isn't it funny how I was asking those questions? I didn't expect for her to have this whole 3-part series. Chisha, are you going to make us go through this? I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious. Okay. Aren't you a little bit curious? I'm a little bit curious. Let's check it out. Let's see. Might be something that's interesting here.
okay, y'all. So, I'm back. But in regards to my relationship, y'all, I'm never going to tell you all the in-depth details of my relationship because people change. I have grown and matured to the age to understand that. Let's say I did tell you all the deep, dark, dirty details of it.
Right.
And one day, this man, he goes and he transforms himself, does all the necessary inner work, get right with God, and he is the man that he is supposed to be in God's eyes. And he finally meets that woman of his dreams. But because she's heard of who he used to be, she declines in being his wife, being involved in his life. Y'all, that is horrible. That's horrible.
Wow.
What if that was me, y'all? I think about stuff like that. What if that was me? What if it was me that made the mistake?
Hold on. Hey, listen, I think I'm starting to think that this chick was different from the rest. And I say this because how many times have you, and guys, think about this. How many times have you guys seen a chick come out here and actually say she's considering how this may affect the other person if she talked trash about him here online in front of everybody else? She seems like somebody who's introspective, probably isn't ready for the streets, and unfortunately, here she is. All right, that's what I see so far. Let's keep listening. You're allowed to disagree. Let's keep listening.
And then because of my past, the person that I'm willing to lay down my life for, the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with, denies being with me, will not give me the opportunity or a chance because they found out who I used to be. Y'all, I don't want any hand in that. I don't want any hand in that. I wish nothing but the best for that man. Despite all we've been through, I want nothing but the best for him, always. But that's why I will not tell you. But I will tell you that I left my marriage because what I went through was intolerable. It was intolerable. But I will tell you this. I take accountability for my actions. I do not fault that man. You want to know why? Because that man was merely being who he was. I chose to stay. I chose to go through what I went through. I chose that. Okay? I could have left, but no. Tamika wanted to stay there and fight for her family. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But what we have to learn to do as women and men, because men go through this situation as well, we need to learn that we have to take accountability for our decisions, and all of our decisions comes with consequences. We have to remember that. That's why we have to be careful of the decisions we make.
All right, that's the end of the video. Not that it should matter, not that she should care, but as a spectator listening to this, I'm like, hey, she seems like she's on the right trajectory and on the right path when it comes to her assessment of life and her experience. Now I know we're gonna get some people who, the nitpick police of, oh, she's got the tattoo, or I'm tatted. And yes, I think that for some men out there, they may view that as a red flag. It's just kind of interesting to me when I see what people will pull out. I don't think everybody who necessarily may come across a certain way to you, or maybe they may not fit in your stereotypical box of this is what a healthy person is within a relationship is or whatnot. I believe there's some cases when somebody's able to be honest and take accountability about the roles that they played within their marriage, and they don't want to destroy the reputation of their ex or last partner. I think there's a lot to be said about that person and their character. So shout out to this chick. All right, moving on.